Hello friends, welcome back to the Craft Castle. My name is Ashley and today we're going to be using our Cricuts and I'm going to show you how to make the template for a graduation cap so we can customize any graduation cap that you have on hand. My daughter is graduating high school this year, which is crazy and hard to believe, but I want to make her a custom graduation cap that she will remember forever. When I graduated high school and college, everyone had like personalized graduation caps and I was like, oh, I wish I would have thought of that. And I'm gonna show you how to do that so we don't have to be, you know, like 20 years down the road going, oh, I wish I would have had that. So I'm gonna show you how to make the template. Graduation caps come in like all different sizes. So what I would suggest is grabbing a graduation cap. Once you have it in hand, you're just gonna need a ruler and I'm gonna show you how to build the template. Once you've built the template once, you're gonna be able to do this time and time again for different sizes. But the great thing is once you've built one template, as long as you keep getting the same size graduation cap, so let's say you wanna sell your graduation cap designs or you know the finished product, or if you have a kid a couple years down the road that you're gonna need, you're gonna have that template forever and ever, amen, because you created it on your own and you did it for free, which is great. You don't have to pay for a template, you can just create one for yourself. Are you ready to get started? Let's go. Okay, the very first thing you want to do is open up a blank window in Cricut Design Space. Then you want to take your graduation cap and also a fabric measuring tape. You can use a regular measuring tape. I just have a love for fabric measuring tapes. They are like my go-to ruler. So what you wanna do is get your square measured out. Mine is 9 inches. So then what you wanna do is go over into shapes and we are going to stick in the free section. So we are going to take this square because it does not have rounded corners. Your graduation cap has pointy corners, so you want to make sure that you get the pointy corner square. Click it and then it'll pop right up. Now what you want to do is set this to 9 inches or whatever size your graduation cap is. So we're going to do 9 and press enter. There is our outside of our square. Now, most of the time I don't have it here, but the tassel gets hooked onto this button right here. So if you were to cut this square out and put it on here, yes, it would fit entirely onto your graduation cap. However, you will not be able to put that tassel that's right here, and that's pretty important, right? We got to put it from the left to the right. So what we need to do now is taking our fabric measuring tape and you want to take a measurement. Now you can eyeball what this is by lining up your fabric measuring tape. However, I'm fancy dancy and I have one of these really cool digital calipers because I have a laser and this tool is actually really important when you use a laser. So I am going to just take a measurement. The outside of your graduation cap may be different, but I'm fairly certain that the button is all the same size. Does not matter how big or small your graduation cap is. Now, if you are going to be using my measurements for this and you have a 12-inch topper, what I would suggest doing is cutting out our template, just a blank spare sheet of paper, and verifying that yes, the button on my 9-inch hat is going to be the same as your 12-inch hat. Just so you're aware. I don't want you to come and be like, oh my gosh, you gave me the wrong measurements. Okay, so for me, I am going to just put my calipers on my button, and my button is 0.72 inches. However, I want it to be just a tad bigger so I'm not like jamming my button in there and we have like a whole bunch of problems. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back into the shapes. We're going to stay in the free shapes. I'm going to click this circle and we're just going to click. It's going to drop in. Now what I want to do is taking my size right here. Remember the actual size of my button was 0.72 inches. I'm going to do it just a hair bigger so it slides right like nice and easy into my button. So I'm gonna do 0.75 inches and then press return. Okay, now what you wanna do is selecting both the square and your circle. We wanna come up here into a line and we wanna align this to the center. Now what you wanna do is you wanna right click and press slice. Then what you wanna do is taking our square, we're just gonna drag this over and then we're gonna select this circle. There's actually 2 circles here. So you wanna select the circles, both the circles, and just delete it. Okay, that, my friends, is the template for your graduation cap. Wasn't that so easy and took us all of 30 seconds? Now what you want to do is save this. So I'm going to save this as a 9-inch graduation hat topper template. And then I'm just going to press save. So now every single time you want to make another 9-inch graduation cap, you're going to want to open this file. Then once we do our customizations, you would just want to go to File and Save As, and then you would have a brand new project. So you would have 2 projects instead of just 1. But the cool thing about this is that although it took like no time to make this template, you're never going to have to get out the fabric measuring tape or the digital calipers. You're just going to open up this file and then get to customizing. Okay, so now let's get into customizing our graduation topper. I would like to note that when we wear these at a slant, right? This looks like a diamond and not a square. So what we need to do now is clicking on our topper. We want to come up here into rotate, and we need to rotate this 45 degrees. Also would like to note that at this point, you do not want to resize your topper at any point in time. That's very, very important. Okay, so my particular customization is going to be in the theme of the Disney Up movie, Adventure is Out There. And so over here in the uploads, I've already uploaded a couple images that I'm going to use for my graduation topper. That being said, rolled flowers for graduation toppers is so stinking popular. If you pay for Cricut Design Space Access, you can go into images and put in rolled flowers, and all of these flowers are going to pop up for you. Now, I am not going to use that. Yes, I pay for Cricut Access, but no, I'm not going to use it. The only reason why I'm not going to use it is because I don't know what these flowers are going to look like after I'm done cutting them and rolling them. And I want to know what I'm going to be making before I waste material. So what I'm going to do is go into my all-time favorite website for SVGs, Creative Fabrica. And I've actually found a rolled flower template, and this thing is packed full. There's 70 different rolled flowers, but then also if we were to download it and open it into your computer and go into preview all flowers, they give you an actual example of what the flowers look like in real life, which I love. I want to know what I am making. So at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open up all these pictures to preview what rolled flowers I want to use. I think I'm going to use multiple flowers just to give it some more dimension. So I'm going to do number 44. Going back over into my folder, I'm going to go back until I go to the SVGs. Okay, and then all you want to do is find number 44, which is right here. Okay, going back over into Cricut Design Space, what you want to do is go into Upload and then Upload Image. This box is going to pop up. Going back into that folder, we are going to find the flower that you want to use, number 44, and I'm going to drag and drop it into Cricut Design Space. Okay, this is what the file is going to look like. Number 44, rolled flower, perfect. So I'm just gonna press upload. Okay, you wanna keep uploading flowers until you have all the flowers that you wanna use. I think 3 is fine for this project. So now what I'm gonna do is click on my rolled flowers, my clouds, and my up house and press add to canvas. Okay, so the background of my grad cap, I want it to be a light blue color. So I'm going to click on this gray color and I'm going to change it to light blue. Then what I'm going to do is taking that up house and I'm just going to arrange my up house to fit inside the corner of my graduation cap, just like that. Okay, now what I want to do is take my clouds, I'm going to drag it over. I want these to be white, so I'm going to do white. Okay, and then I'm just going to make this one smaller. And we're just going to put this one on the hat, and then I want to find the other one, drag this over. I'm going to also change this to white. Okay, now what I'm going to do is rearrange my clouds to fit inside of my topper. Okay, so I have my clouds arranged onto the graduation topper. You can tell that there are certain clouds that hang over from my graduation topper. How to rectify that is you want to take all your clouds. So we're going to press our cloud, shift on the keyboard, and click all the rest of the clouds you have on your topper. And then you want to right click and press combined and then weld. Okay, now what you want to do is select both the clouds and your backer and you want to Command D, which is duplicate, or you could copy and paste. And then what you want to do, I'm going to drag this down here so we don't get confused. Then what you want to do is come down here and press right click and then slice. Okay, so you're going to be left with 3 different pieces right here. What you want to do is click that first piece. The first piece should be all these pieces that are hanging off. We can just delete them. Okay, then what you want to do is move the next layer. The next layer are these clouds right here. I like those. I'm going to keep those. Now this right here, I'm going to delete, and this right here, I'm also going to delete. Now what I'm going to do is drag in those slice clouds and put them on top of the original clouds that I had. Okay, when they're lined up nice and great and exactly where I want, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my original clouds and just delete them. And so now these clouds fit perfectly onto my graduation topper without any issues. Okay, when it comes to the flowers, I'm going to select all the flowers and I'm going to align this to the center. And I want to make these, for right now, I'm going to make them 4 inches. And I have 3 different flowers. Okay, so now I'm just going to resize these to where they're all going to be different sizes, because I definitely want all of my balloons, like not all balloons are the same size, and I don't want my flowers to be the same size. Does that make sense? Then what you want to do, the up house has a whole array of different colored balloons. So I'm just going to come over here and I'm going to select, let's do a magenta color for one. And this one, I want it to be like a teal blue. And then we need another one that is lime green. Okay, I'm going to copy all 3 of these, Command C and Command V. And I'm just going to make this one, let's do an orange. I need a yellow. Oh, I need a red. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy these 2 times. So copy and paste once, and then copy and paste a second time. Okay, and then for the strings of the up house, what I'm going to do is use actual string, not cut it on cardstock. Okay, now I want to add my lettering. So I'm going to come over here into the text box and I'm going to do 3 different lines. So adventure, and then I'm going to change the font over. So I'm going to click on this font and I'm going to be using a downloaded font. So I'm going to go into system and I'm going to find my downloaded font that I want to use and press apply. Okay, now that I have my font, I'm going to just copy and paste that. And I'm going to double click and I'm going to do is out. And I'm going to change the font for the second line. So I'm going to click on my font right here. I'm going to find my second font, which is still a downloaded font. And I'm going to click on it. And then I am going to copy and paste my second line. And I'm going to drag this down. I'm going to double click this. I'm going to put there. Adventure is out there. However, I'm going to change the font of this one. So I'm going to come back over here into font and I'm going to find my font for that one and press go. There we go. This is all 3 fonts that I'm going to use for my project. Okay, so I'm going to select all 3 of my font boxes that I have and I'm going to change it over to black. Okay, so I think I'm going to like the way that I have this laid out. Now, fun fact is I am actually, because trying to rearrange these letters in cardstock to glue it on top of the topper, this to get the spacing correct and everything else like that is probably going to be an absolute nightmare. So fun fact, I'm actually going to be using HTV for this. So I'm going to select all 3 of my lines now that I have it spaced exactly how I want it. I'm going to right click and I'm going to press combined and then weld. Now remember I said I'm going to be using HTV for this project. So I'm going to select those letters and I'm just going to flip these horizontally. Okay, so I am just going to save this right here. So I'm going to press save and then save as and then press save. Just so if Cricut crashes or anything else like that, we can come back to this. Okay, then I just want to press make. Okay, we're going to turn our Cricut on. Okay, with our Cricut turned on, we just want to press continue. So with our very first page, we need to do a print then cut. So we're going to send this to printer. I'm going to choose my printer, use my system dialog and press print. Okay, I'm going to make sure and choose my correct paper size. And then also I want to make sure my media quality is set to glossy photo paper because I am going to be using glossy photo paper for this project. Now all you want to do is press print. Okay, so I have pulled all of my sheets of cardstock. This is going to look so stinking cute. I have a lot of plain cardstock that we are going to roll into flowers. Hopefully they look like balloons in the end. But then I have a couple sheets of my glitter cardstock. I have the glitter white for the clouds, and then I also have my light blue shed-free glitter cardstock. That's going to be the backer of my graduation topper. I think all of these colors are going to look so stinking fabulous. All the cardstock that I'm using is from my cardstock warehouse, and it'll be linked in the description of this video, but oh my gosh, so freaking cute. Okay, the only thing that I am missing from the lineup is the black HTV. We want to make sure and cut this after the white glitter. So these are in stacked order from what is on my screen. I'm just going to close that up, and I'm going to slide all these underneath my machine so we can cut in the order that's on our screen. Okay, look at how well this cardstock cuts. Absolutely fabulous. Wait for the pull. Not a snag in any of the cardstock. Looks absolutely fabulous. Every single flower just cut with perfection. Using high quality cardstock definitely makes a difference in all projects, especially when you go to cut. Okay, so what you should be left with is just piles of spirals of different colors. And then here is our graduation topper. Also save this little circle for later. And then we have our up house and then all of our clouds. Okay, to roll your flowers, it's not hard. You just want to take this like small wooden skewer. These are like what you would use to make kebabs with. You want to start on the very outside of your spiral. So see this big, huge thing that's right here in the middle? You're going to start here and end here. What you want to do is take your stick and start over here at the very end, and you want to roll the paper around your stick. You're not going to use the stick for the entire spiral, but just roll it around your stick. Once you get it nice and started, then what you can do is pull your stick out using your fingers, and you can just roll your flowers around until you get to the very end right here. Okay, we are at the end of the flower. You can see it's all rolled up, and I have that little like weird circle. You're going to take a bit of hot glue. Hot glue is best for this project just because it dries really quickly. I'm going to cover the entire bottom of that flower. Then I'm going to take this little piece and I'm going to push it down onto the bottom of that flower. You want to kind of move quick because hot glue does dry, but be careful about your fingertips because you don't want to burn your fingertips. Just like that. Okay, before you spread them out, you want to leave them alone so the hot glue has a chance to dry. Okay, I'm going to keep rolling flowers until I've ran out. Okay, so we have all of our flowers here. Now, when you're done rolling the flowers, all you want to do is just take your petals and roll them out so they floof out a little bit. Okay, so taking our base of our grad cap topper, I'm going to put this over to the side. Remember, we want it at an angle. And then using this piece right here, this is that white glitter cardstock that I cut out. The reason why I cut it out like this, we're not going to worry too much about this, but I am going to put this on top of my blue topper. I am going to line up. Remember when we sliced the edges right here and right here? I'm going to line these up to the very edge like this, making sure that it fits into place with every single one. Okay, I'm going to be using my craft cardstock for gluing down the clouds. Okay, we got one right here, so I'm just going to take my glue. And I'm really only going to focus on the edges of my cloud, and we're going to place it into our cutout. Okay, then what you want to do is just work on all the rest of your clouds, gluing your clouds down into place. Okay, then when you have your clouds glued down, you just want to lift up your larger piece of white cardstock, just like that. And look, they're all in place. Perfect. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is taking this, I'm just going to dry fit this in before I attempt to even glue any of this down. Okay, what do we think of this? Now, I am going to use, when I glue down my flowers, I am going to make them a little bit tighter, but you know, because they're dry fitted, I won't be able to do that right now. But like, isn't this so freaking cute? So I'm going to turn my little mini heat press on to high. And then what I'm going to do also is I cut out a bunch of white ribbon. I'm just going to turn this around. Now, the In the Up movie, the white ribbon comes off of, or the ribbon to the balloons come off the chimney. So what I'm going to do is just taking a single piece of, or like a single line of glue, just like that. And I'm going to lay down my string. Okay, when I'm done doing that, then I'm going to lay down another piece of glue and I put down another piece of string. Okay, doing the same thing. I have a bunch of string cut in various lengths. I'm going to be doing the same thing with the string. So we're just going to keep on gluing down and then placing string. Okay, the back is going to look ugly. That is okay. Just like with your flowers are going to look ugly too from the back, but we are going to glue this on down on top of this. You'll never see it. Okay, this is what it's going to look like from the front. Doesn't that look really cute with all those like ribbons? Now I want this to kind of have a little bit more dimension. So what I'm going to do is use some foam squares that I get over at Fanciful Chaos. The owner's name is Nancy. She is like the kindest person ever. I am just going to put some foam squares down onto the back of my house. And I think that's going to look super cute. Okay, we're going to move this to the side real quick and we are going to tack down this HTV. Now my glitter cardstock, I would not say works well in heat presses. However, you only want to just do a light tack and then we want to just move this off. Okay, now we're going to take this off, the backing of all of the foams, and doing the same thing that we just did for the dry fit. Okay, I'm just going to take a little bit of hot glue and I'm going to pin down my string. I'm not going to pull tight with this because I don't want the string to look like it's pulled tight. I want it to look like it's floating in the air. Okay, when string's done drying, I'm just going to cut off the ends. Oh yeah, that's gonna look so cute. So I'm gonna start at the bottom here and I'm gonna cover this with hot glue and we're just going to push this down onto the backer. Doing the same thing with all the rest of your flowers. Seriously, how freaking cute is this topper? Oh my gosh. Okay, so to attach this onto your graduation topper, see how it just nicely sits over that button and looks absolutely cute onto the hat. So you can do one of two things. If this is for you personally, what you could do is just take hot glue, spread this around and put it onto your thing like that. If you're going to be making these to sell or whatever, or this is going to be for, you know, a niece or a nephew or anything like that, what I would suggest doing is turning this over and taking double-sided stick tape. This one right here has like a paper over the top of it, and I would just put double-sided stick tape on the back of your topper. Okay, so when you were to like ship this to your niece, nephew, or whatever you plan on doing with these, then what the person would do is taking their grad cap, they would just take these things off and put it on top of their graduation hat. Okay, and then remember we saved this thing right here. Then what I would also do is put a piece of double-sided stick tape onto the back of your circle. They would string on their tassel and then put this on top of that. And look, now you don't have an ugly black circle on your graduation topper. Isn't that so smart? Oh my goodness, but didn't this not just turn out absolutely freaking adorable? And when you're wearing this, this is going to be the front of your hat, and look at how freaking cute that turned out. Absolutely gorgeous. All right, y'all, I sure hope I inspired you to create, and I'll see you later.